Hey guys, welcome to line check number 11. So this line check was the most difficult video I think I've ever had to work on for the channel. Not because of the guest though. The guest was an absolute dream and I really enjoyed this conversation and this video. I really enjoyed the interview itself. That's why I put so much work into it. Not because to make the quality better actually, which is the sad part, because we had so many technical difficulties. I'm still new to doing these sort of on-location shoots in person, and for this video I definitely learned some lessons and some potholes I'm going to avoid in the future. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because, as a lot of you know, this is my first video back since I went on a hiatus and I took a vacation. Now, I wanted to get this video up so badly before we left for vacation, and if this video had turned out like any other line check that I've filmed, it would have been a breeze. But with all of the video and audio complications I had, it really took some time after getting back from vacation to sit down and evaluate how to progress through this. I had to sit down and sort of get on YouTube and watch some tutorials on how to fix the problems that I encountered, but we got through it. It's here. I really would have liked to get this video up before I left, especially considering the fact that some of the things we talked about in this video was about tour dates that were kind of happening while I was on vacation. So that kind of explains why you didn't see this sooner and why it's a few weeks old now. And with all that being said, let's get into it. So my guest today is the incredible Jerod Boyd from Miss May I. He's been a member of Miss May I since the very beginning when he joined the band in high school. I had an absolutely incredible time sitting down and talking to Jerod. It was one of the most fluent and just sort of enjoyable conversations I've had here on Line Check, and I didn't even really need to refer to any notes. We just kind of rolled with where the conversation took us, and because of that, I really enjoyed it. Now, the last thing I will say is because of those audio complications that I had alluded to, the quality in this video is not exactly on par with what you're used to with my videos, but it definitely is still audible. You'll be able to hear everything, just not as crystal clear as you're used to with my videos, especially the fact that I come from an audio background, so it should be a bit better than this compared to the expectations that I go into most of my videos with, but now I'm rambling. So with all of that being said, I really hope you enjoy episode 11 of Line Check with the incredible Jerod Boyd. All right, sweet. Cool, man. So it's been 5 days so far. Yep. Still fresh into the tour. What's it been like? What have the first 5 shows been like on this I guess, you know, celebrating an older record? What's it been like?
Yeah, so this tour we're celebrating Monument. It's 10 years old now. It's our second album, sort of the album that we say put us on the map. Mm-hmm. You know, Apologies was one to put our foot in the door, and then Monument came out after that, and that was really cool. You know, and here we are. But, so the first 5 days, the first day was nerve-wracking as hell. Just because you get up there playing an album that's 10 years old, you don't want to mess it up. You don't want to be 10 years older than that album and be like, oh, well, I can't do it anymore. It's too fast or something like that.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I really put a lot of time in while I was off, just, you know, brushing up on it. Yeah. And it was sort of like riding a bike, to be honest. When I jumped back into it, it was like breakdowns clicked first, like all the breakdown patterns, and then after that it was really just remembering the song layouts, because when we were younger the songs didn't really have too much structure to them.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Monument was the first album where we decided to start putting structure in songs, but yeah, it still is a bit of what we call riff soup. So
yeah,
you know, we just have a bunch of riffs here and there.
Yep.
Just, oh, well, we used that one, so let's do a different one now. Oh, well, we used that one, time for a different one. So that's how that was. But anyway, yeah, so the first few days have been good. The shows were great. We done Chicago first, then we did Columbus, Pennsylvania, and then Michigan. And now we're here in Toronto.
The Shelter.
Yeah, we did the Shelter.
Oh, yeah.
Where Eminem played one time.
That's right.
So he puked up on spaghetti.
That's right. Yeah. I was told that story upon walking into that venue. Everybody brings it up. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So nerve-wracking in the beginning, but now that everything's sort of settled in, it's been really good, and the crowd reactions have been amazing. So that sort of, you know, fuels the fire when you're on stage.
So was there like a particular song that really gave you some work when putting together the set?
Probably the songs that gave us the most work were some of the re-release songs, because we're not only playing Monument in its entirety, but we're playing the whole deluxe edition as well. So it's got the 3 bonus tracks on it, and then we're also playing a big song that we put on as an iTunes single, like an exclusive, and that was a song called Rust. The song's actually all about Call of Duty. And yeah, so it's pretty fun when the crowd hears these helicopters and machine guns coming in, then they know what song's coming up. And it's fun because if you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Rust, Rust was the one that gave me the most trouble.
Oh, okay. Why is that?
The song's just fast and it's just in your
fast.
face and it's just quick the whole time. It's got a lot of double bass and then a lot of sort of fast, crazy fills that are just, I don't know, just in your face. So it's like really just abrasive, I guess.
So what'd you do to like? Is it like a stamina thing? You just got to get up to speed to be able to go 3 minutes at whatever tempo kind of thing?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we play some songs right before that too that are pretty quick.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say exactly which ones we play before and after it, but yeah. So we play some pretty quick ones that it's like my legs are already fuming.
Already burnt? Yeah, right on.
So it's like, oof,
what kind of exercises do you do? Do you have like a routine when like trying to get your stamina back?
So as far as with kick drums or, double bass or whatever, when I'm building stamina with that, it's mainly just playing something sort of over and over that helps.
Yeah.
And then with me, as long as I'm playing anything that's on the grid, like a 16th note or a quarter note or anything like that, as long as you're not getting into sextuplets or triplets or anything, I always can think that an easy way for me is to think that my right foot is always going to be hitting with my right hand, as long as, if I'm playing any like...
Yep.
So sometimes in my head, instead of thinking 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, then I can just think right.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then you don't have a mouthful and you can think a little bit more,
Yeah.
Because, as long as you fill in the other gap with your left foot, and we play to a click, so, I always know that it's going to be 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So just like, loop that song kind of thing?
As long as I can think, like, get sort of locked into, like, my right side, then I'm usually okay. And then when it picks up into sextuplets, then I would just half-time that right saying. So if I was going right, or right, then it'd be right, or right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Right, because it would go, triplet would be right, left, left. So,
Yeah, but you double the triplet, exactly.
Yeah.
When did you get introduced to the drums, and when did you like start taking lessons, and more importantly, when did you get into the style of music?
Okay. Yeah, so, I pretty much got introduced to drums through Blink-182.
Cool. Travis
They
Barker.
were one of my favorite bands at that time, and Travis Barker is a great drummer. I still think he's an amazing drummer.
Yeah.
And so that's how I first started hearing drums and stuff like that. Then I wanted to try out for band because I was like, playing drums would be fun. So when I was going into 7th grade, I went and I tried out for band, and I didn't know, I was too shy to tell the guy that I wanted to play drums. So he let me try out like a trumpet at first, and I sucked at that, and let me try a saxophone, and I sucked at that. And then finally my mom's like, he wants to play drums. And like, because she didn't want to butt in,
Yeah.
And so the guy was like, all right, well, let me play something on the table, and like, can you copy it back or whatever? So we did that, and I guess I copied him right, and he told my mom, he's like, you want to be our next drummer? And I was like, yeah, sure. So then we just started doing that. I did the first year of band with, we didn't march in 7th and 8th grade yet. You only got to march in high school.
Yeah.
So at that point we were just learning like concert band. So I was really just reading music and learning theory and things like that, which helped a ton.
Yeah.
I think for now.
Yeah.
It just helps you feel more comfortable around any like musical environment, I guess. People are able to say specific words to you, and you're able to know what they mean.
Exactly.
And you can relate it to your instrument.
Yeah.
And then you're able to speak through your instrument. But so anyway, I did that for a while. I got into lessons in probably 8th grade. So that's when you're 13, 14 maybe?
Yeah.
13,
yeah.
Yeah, 13 years old. So got into doing lessons with this guy named Craig Carroll. He worked at this place called Sound City in Troy, Ohio, and he was awesome. He was a fantastic drummer. I remember back in the day, I thought, how the heck can this guy's one foot go so fast? And he never taught me double bass or anything. That was something that I just picked up on my own. But he taught me, like, basically, he put me on the right path.
Okay.
And at one point for the lessons, he sort of told my parents and said, "Hey, you know, you guys can keep paying for lessons, and we can come in here and we can learn songs." And you know, I was learning some Green Day songs too at that point, and like American Idiot and stuff like that. So he was like, "We can keep doing that, and that's cool and all." But he said, "I think really at this point, it's up to him. Like, if he wants to keep doing it, then he's going to continue moving forward with it. But other than that, he has what it takes to keep moving. Like, at this point, you're just going to be wasting money because we're just going to be jamming together."
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha.
And so I didn't really know how to take that at first when I was young, because I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, I didn't understand, like, sort of why. I didn't really feel like kicked to the curb, but at the same time, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, like, I guess I'm just on my own now. I'll figure it out. And so yeah, I figured it out, and I just kept playing. And then once I got into marching band, I played snare in marching band, and that was really, really fun. I had a blast doing that. And then I joined jazz band, where I started playing drum set, you know, in the jazz band, because before I just played drum set at home. And then I think when I was a freshman in high school, the other guys in Miss May I came up to me because they needed a drummer, and they heard that I was a good drummer. And just around school, I was a band nerd. I didn't know them or anything really. So they're like, "Oh, you want to come play drums for our band?" And at that time the band was called Saving Small Town. And we were like covering Taking Back Sunday and stuff like that. And I remember Justin, our guitar player, he was better at double bass than me. And I was like, this guy can't be better at this than me, like, than the drummer. You know, like, I have to figure it out. So I think that's probably how I got good at playing double bass first.
Little competition.
A lot of people praise me on my feet, at least. And so that's cool. I'm happy that is like that. But at this point, it really comes natural after a while. Like, I've just been playing so much double bass for so long. But so joined in with Saving Small Town, aka Miss May I, and we just moved on from there through the rest of our high school career, and just kept doing. We were weekend warriors, so we would go off to the farthest we ever went is like maybe Georgia or something, and we'd go off to Georgia during the weekend and come back and go back to school, you know.
Yeah.
And go play our local venues here or there, and then go back to school.
What grade? What age was this?
So this when we were sophomores, so like 11th grade.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, or 10th.
10th.
Yeah. 10th. And then, we just kept doing that all through our high school career. We had, there was a guy who played guitar for The Devil Wears Prada. His name was Chris Ruby.
Yep.
And he took a liking to our band.
Yep.
And he sort of like managed us for a little bit, which was cool. Sort of got our foot in with Rise at the time. And that's sort of how it went from there. And then, we just sort of took off after high school. Ended up recording an album when we were juniors in school, actually. That was Apologies for the Week.
Yep.
And then our plan was when we graduate, Rise was going to release the album and we'd go on tour right away.
Yeah.
Because we had some offers from some other labels in school, but they wanted us to drop out. And at first it was like really flattering, because you're a kid and you're like, what? I can just drop out and I can just go play music? That kicks ass. But we're like, we want to at least finish like high school for our parents. And, like it means a lot to them. And we were even supposed to tour before we were supposed to walk. And then we were like, we had to cancel a tour like going out. I think it was with Chiodos back in the day.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a tour with them out to our first tour, which is called the Artery Foundation Across the Nation tour. And,
what a mouthful.
Yeah, it was with Impending Doom, Carnifex, Miss May I, Conducting from the Grave, and Molotov Solution. It was incredibly metal.
Yeah. Those are some metal bands.
And we were like sandwiched in the middle, which was weird. But so that's where we've been in for the past 10 years, just touring, writing, and just playing.
So looking back at like the band experiences you had, like the school-oriented band experiences, the jazz band, and then, so you mentioned snare drum and like a drumline situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how long did that go on for?
So that went on for 4 years.
So the rest of the high school experience kind of thing. Gotcha.
Because before we were signed, I had no intention of touring with the band.
Yeah.
With Miss May, I never had any plans of being like, oh, we're going to go out and we're going to be huge and we're going to just tour the world and play music all the time.
Yeah.
We just were a band that liked to play music in a basement.
Yeah.
We were stoked that when we first wrote our first song, and we're just like, oh, that was awesome. Like, see you guys next Saturday. Can't wait to play our song. You know? Like,
our song.
Yeah, that's all it was. Like,
Hell yeah.
And we were just stoked on that for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nice. We finally get to do, like, play music with other people.
Yeah.
And then, you know, eventually we wrote some more songs. We're like, yo, we heard people were playing shows up there. We should go play a show. And I think 12 people came, and some guy busted his nose, so we thought we were badass. You know, it was like, oh, I broke my nose in the pit. And I was like, how do you even do that with 12 people? You have to go out of your way. But,
yeah. Yo, hit me.
Yeah.
You know, like,
But yeah, anyway, so when we were playing the local gigs and everything like that, my plan for after high school was actually I wanted to go to Moorhead University,
Mhm.
and I wanted to be on their drum line. And
Mhm.
I wanted to pursue music, but I just never thought that it would be in this way.
yeah. Okay. True.
I never thought that I'd be touring like this. I honestly thought that I was going to go join a drum corps. I wanted to learn, or I wanted to be in the Blue Coats. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
It's a drum corps, but you know, drum corps are like the best of the best. You got to pay
Yeah.
to be in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to pay to be in a drum corps, but yeah, it's like the best of the best guys, and there's a bunch of guys, even like tenor or quad players, or bass drum players, and snare players. They've gotten themselves full ride endorsements through tons of people like Vic Firth and stuff like that, and they'll attach GoPros to these guys, and it's amazing just seeing these guys march around and remember all this show and all these rudiments and do it with 15 other guys.
Yeah.
You know,
All
perfect.
perfectly in time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nuts. So that's what I wanted to do. I had the tryout music learned and all their warm ups and stuff, and I was ready to go. But yeah, then Rise came along, and then but yeah, now we're not with Rise anymore. We're with Sharp Tone.
That's right. Yeah.
Sharp Tone now, and that's rocking hard.
Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
been a couple years now, right?
Yeah, we have one album through Sharp Tone right now. That's Shadows Inside.
Yeah.
And then, I think after this run, we're really going to be digging in and starting something for some new stuff, because Shadows Inside is 2 years old now.
Yeah.
So that was our plan, though. We wanted the album to breathe. You know, we didn't want to. We got sort of sick of doing an album every single year because we just felt it was so just expected.
Yeah.
Like there were so many. Bands in the scene that it's like, okay, well, next year, got to release an album. Next year, release an album. Because the other one, you know, how the cycle goes, it sort of comes back down and then you get the hype back up again. So we're just like, let's just let it breathe. And it's been doing well. It's been doing really, really well. And I think actually, because one of our bigger songs was Hey Mister for the longest time. And now Shadows Inside has the same reaction. It has this same and if more plays than that song even has on other stuff, so that's good. It's nice that we're like separated into eras now. Like now that it's been 10 years, new stuff, people are like, oh yeah, that's like way more mature, and like this is a really awesome Miss May I sound. And then if you go back to the other ones, they're like, oh, that was like the thrash Miss May I days when we were 16 years old.
Yeah.
We went through all these other band phases. We were a grindcore band for a little bit called Day of the Locusts.
Really?
Yeah. Back in the day when we just were playing local shows.
No way.
Yeah. And we went through our grindcore phase because there was another local band called Panda Strike too. That was crazy. You know, grindcore is just nuts.
Yeah.
But everyone's fantastic musicians. You're just like, holy crap, how do you even think this up?
So when did you kind of focus it to, when did you guys kind of focus it to Miss May I and like decide to go, I guess, with the metalcore sound and route? Was that when Chris got involved?
No, not really right when Chris got involved. We were still writing stuff and doing a bunch of stuff as a local band. We were playing shows and all this stuff before Chris. But when Chris got involved, he was sort of in a way like, hey, you know, I really like this stuff. And he went on some songs like he helped produce Architect back in the beginning, and he also helped produce Swing, which is really cool because he produced. Is it Still Fly that Prada did? What was that big cover. It was a big cover. Yeah, right. Still Fly. Yeah, they did it. They did a big song like that back when everyone was doing covers.
Yeah.
Sort of blowing everybody.
Yeah, like The Word Alive had that. Who did they cover? Nah, don't worry about it.
I can't remember. Every band.
The Word Alive had. Yeah, it was some like really famous rap song. Anyways.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But your chick, she said thirsty.
What? No. Anyways.
Anyway.
So, back to drumline because I want to ask you about that. So, what were some of what were some lessons? What were some things that you took away from drumline that you still to this day sort of apply at the drum kit, and some things that you just resonated with you and help you every day you step into the set?
I guess something that helped me a lot about that is I learned how to really work with the drum rather than playing the drum.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned how to use the drum's natural rebound to my advantage.
Yeah.
To where I always see a lot of people, they feel like they have to really give in to everything, and you see them forcing the stick almost into the head, which to me, I mean, sure, if it works for you, it works for you. But for me, it feels so much more natural and way more fluent. I feel like I'm riding a wave. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So it's like if I'm going to hit something, it wants to put force back into me. So as that's going down, I'm moving somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's just one constant flowing motion. So like that, using rebound really helped a lot with, just moving around the kit in general fast, and also with blast beats, of course. I mean, blast beats are definitely something I do a lot, and especially on this 10-year album.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do a lot of blasts in this stuff, and it just helps. It helps a lot for that rebound to actually give the drum the power.
And was that just because of the high tension on a marching snare?
Yeah, definitely. The high tension on the marching snare helped out a bunch. Because when you're playing in a marching band, obviously, you use bigger sticks.
Yeah.
So a bigger stick is going to have more of a natural rebound.
Yeah.
With the drum kit, I sort of apply the same idea, except I play Vic Firth, and it's Vic Firth Metal is the version of the stick.
Yeah. Oh no, I've played those for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's about an inch longer than any normal stick, like a 5A, 5B.
Yeah.
And then it's the thickest stick you get before you get into marching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it's still small enough to where you can move around the kit quick, but big enough to where it really lays out a nice warm tone into each drum, and also lets that natural rebound sort of kick that stick back to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I played the rock sticks, and then I went up to the metal because it was the same thing, just longer.
Just said it.
And then now I'm playing the Thomas Lang signatures.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have the marching stick balance point where it's move forward.
Mm-hmm.
They're really smooth. I love that. Yeah, but I'm a bigger stick. I'm into bigger sticks myself as well. Yeah. I just did a line check with Anup Sastry, and he plays the metal sticks as well.
Yeah.
And he switched to them recently.
Rocks.
Oh, you got rocks.
No.
He rocks. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, he's sick. Yeah. That's how it goes, right? You start with the rock stick, and then you want the little extra length to get farther to cymbals or whatever it is. Yeah.
I think I went, in my steps, 5B, 2B rock metal.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, exactly. And then I went to Thomas Lang.
Yeah.
But the same exact progression. Same exact. I started with Pro Mark 5Bs.
Okay.
And then I did the 2Bs on Vic Firth, and then just kept moving up from there.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So what were some lessons? Same question pretty much, but let's talk about the jazz band, getting to actually be at the kit in a band setting.
Yeah. So jazz band was pretty cool when I finally got in there, because it really taught you how to sort of improvise.
Yeah.
Because there'd be times where it'd be like, hey, well, you got 12 measures. It's all you. And the whole class is just turning around with their instruments, just watching, and you're just like, okay, well, hopefully I don't screw this up, because it's just me.
Yeah.
And it's jazz, so you're just like, I can't just metal out, and I can't just be like, you know what I mean?
16th ain't gonna fly.
No, I have to make it tasteful.
Yeah.
So, that was a bit difficult, and there was definitely some stuff where I had some trouble in jazz band, where I remember I had a period of class where I was a student aide for our music teacher, but I could go in there and I could just play drums for basically a whole class by myself because nobody was in the room. So it was I used that to my advantage a lot to help learn. I was playing drums at school twice a day now.
Yeah.
Which was cool. So I got to practice and then jump in, and then and then obviously sort of got you a little bit more used to playing concerts because you got to play concerts for all your parents, and blah, blah, blah. And what's the biggest thing everyone's afraid of at a live show? Fucking up.
I was gonna say the backtracks fuck up, but but that's later on, I guess.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That's another thing with us too, is we've learned to not have to rely on that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So if we don't have any like backtracks or something, we tend to put pretty much what's impossible in the backtracks: a bass drop, a reverse cymbal, a reverse snare, a reverse vocal.
Yeah.
But if we can do it live, we really try to keep most of that crap out of there.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just, I don't know, we're not into it. That much. At least I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about earlier, when that trailer got stolen. We had to borrow all the equipment and stuff. We were just straight DIY.
Yeah.
We just no ears, no clicks,
no click, nothing.
No nothing.
Oh wow.
It was just monitors, and we start the set.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Miss May I? Here we go. You know what I mean? Like, we're just start the song and continue on and hope everybody's on time and is listening.
Do you think that part of the reason why you guys can do that is just because of like your history? Like you guys have been together since you were young kids.
Yeah. I think definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we're brothers all at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And there's really, with Miss May, there's not an I in the team.
Yeah.
And like, we're all original. We've been all here since the beginning. Nobody's ever quit and then decided, hey, I want to rejoin or anything like that. We've definitely had our ups and downs for sure, where I thought that it's like, man, this is probably going to be it. Like, this is a hard time in our career or whatever.
Yeah, like the bus in Europe kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely rough. But that was one of those things to where, we all sat down, we looked at each other, and we're like, do we go home and give up? Or do we finish out what we already said we were going to do and show the fans at least a good time?
Yeah.
Like, we have to do this. Like, we're already here. So why give up now?
Mm.
So we've always pushed forward through thick and thin, and I think that is because we have such a strong bond.
Yeah. So what were some of like your early tours like? Like what was the first tour that you came off of and you're like, whoa, I have a lot to learn?
Oh man, every tour still. Pretty much.
Was there ever a point where you felt like, okay, we've got this down?
I mean, I would say it's more of a feeling like, all right, I feel way more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if I play a show, and I get off stage and I know it was good, I'm like, I know that was a really good time. I know that everybody else had fun. I could feel the energy from them. So I definitely know that. But yeah, it definitely took a little bit to like build up enough to feel just like good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go and, when you start touring, you're opening or, 2 of 4, 2 of 5, whatever. And, you feel like nothing on those tours. And then you end up seeing these headlining bands play, especially their drummers. And then these guys are just shredding. And I don't know. Sometimes when I sit back down on drums after a little break, I think like, how am I even going to do this? Like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to remember this. And it just sort of like clicks
just comes
here and there.
Yeah.
But I'm always trying to learn something from someone on a tour, whether it's somebody that's opening or headlining or direct support, whatever. Somebody always has something to show someone else, or at least another drummer. They can say, "Oh wow, you know what? I never really thought about that, and that's really cool." And sort of an idea that I have is, so people always ask me, like, what were your idols? Who's your idol? And blah, blah, blah. I don't really believe in having an idol because I don't really believe in trying to mold myself exactly like after someone else.
Yeah.
But instead I have people that like I look up to a bunch. So it's like, let's say like Travis Barker. Really like Travis Barker. Really like the old drummer for the Black Dahlia murder, Shannon Lucas. Both fantastic drummers, but I'll take 2 ideas that they have and I'll combine them into my own. And like, that's sort of what creates you into your own unique drummer, right?
Yeah.
Being able to combine those ideas. Yeah.
So that's a great segue. Like, who are some drummers that you think that have directly influenced you? Like, you can pick out something that you do and be like, that's for sure from that guy.
Man. There's just so many.
Just so many.
Mean, yeah, there's like so many guys. And now, like, right when you think about it, you can start blanking out all names.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can name bands at least, like Lamb of God.
Oh, okay. For the feet?
Listen.
Footwork?
Yeah, definitely
yeah,
for
footwork.
feet.
Yeah.
And just even with like some people call them quads, and we call them 2/2s, whatever. 3s, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Just exactly.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I definitely learned those from him because he's always doing those.
Yeah.
But then
I feel like a lot of the metalcore scene sort of was like the drumming in the metalcore scene was built on that. Like that concept, from Lamb of God and bands of that time doing those types of fills.
For sure,
you know.
I think now that I'm actually sort of thinking about it, do you know Behemoth?
Yes.
Their drummer Inferno.
That's his name. I don't know. I didn't know. Okay, right on.
I mean, that sounds real.
Yeah. I didn't know that's a stage name, right?
I don't know, and I don't know if they can still with the band or not anymore. There might be somebody else that does some stuff, but he's the original drummer. So this Inferno guy, back when they were playing on their albums like Demigod and stuff like that, I learned double bass through him, like through black metal. I went through a massive black metal phase in high school, and with some buddies, and it was awesome. Like that's definitely where I learned how to play double bass because we were always just trying to jam it, and play, and with Behemoth, it's just.
Just blast beats.
This the whole time.
32s for days.
Bass blast, super fast fills.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much apologies are for the week for me, you know?
Yeah.
It's just.
So now I hate to interrupt you, but as I mentioned in the intro of this video, I had some video complications too. I did lose some footage. Fortunately enough, the footage that I lost was actually just footage of me asking Jerod certain questions. So this is one of 2 questions I'll have to punch in this format so that you guys know what he's answering when we come back in here. The first question I asked him, the question that he's about to answer, is as follows. So I said to Jerod, when I saw him playing with Miss May I on stage on the August Burns Red tour, he looked like he was having the most fun out of any drummer in the venue that night. He was performing dozens of stick tricks and it was so entertaining to watch. And then I proceeded to ask him, so when did you start playing around with stick tricks and what sort of inspired you to get into the concept? And here's what he had to say about that.
To be honest, I did it I was always doing a little bit of it like here and there.
Yeah.
I never did it too much in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I started doing like some little spins, like not really letting them leave my hands or anything because I was always real spooked about that. Like, I don't want to drop it and mess up the note or anything. But then we did Mayhem, and I guess if there's one drummer that I could probably be like, man, that guy rocks. Probably one of the closest I could say to being an idol would probably be Ray Luzier. He rocks from Korn.
Yeah.
Slams, dude. And it wasn't really, I guess playing on albums is really, really fantastic, but it's him as a live drummer that's what I want to see in a drummer. I want to see somebody that's having a blast, that's just going for stuff because, like, why the heck not? Why not throw the stick super high? And if I miss it, whatever. I got another one over here.
Yeah.
You know, it looks cool. And nobody even noticed.
Yeah, they're not going to notice the fuck up. They're going to notice the stick in the air either way.
Yeah, and at least you're going for it. And then what he'll do or whatever, if he misses it or something like that, like he's still got a smile on his face. He's probably laughing about it, just like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I would have caught it. Next one, you're mine.
Yeah.
But it stinks to see somebody get pissed off because they messed something up or whatever. I always learned to keep a smile on your face and just have fun because who cares? Like we're all human.
Yeah.
Like nobody needs to be perfect or whatever. We all want to be the closest versions of ourselves to perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, why not keep going? Be better than perfect. Keep going. Be more than what you wanted to be. So. Yeah, man, I just went for it. And after I saw Ray when we did Mayhem in 2014, or 16, actually. 16, because we did Warped Tour 15 and then Mayhem 16. And, man, it just inspired me to want to just try. To just be like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to start doing stuff and throwing some sticks around and just whatever. And I remember there was one time where he came and he watched the set. Because they were all in like the main stage, like amphitheater land on Mayhem, because it was all a set schedule.
Yeah.
So we were doing outside stage, and then he had come in and he had watched, and I remember I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for this stick trick with him and see if he'll like do it. So I looked over at him and I was like, hey, like had his attention, And I remember on a part, I threw a stick over to him, and then he caught it. And I grabbed another, and I kept playing. And I was like, hold on, like, we'll bring it back. And then so I remember it was just a stop or whatever, like a quick stop. And I was like, yo, throw it, here it comes. And I like hit it, chuck this stick out. He threw another one, but it was going, I think I threw my right one out because I'm right-handed. I want to be able to catch it.
Yeah.
And when he threw it, I think he meant to go like up over here, but it was going backwards. And I don't know how I caught it, but it was like a and I just felt mega cool after it happened. I was just like, I'm going to keep doing these. That was sick. If anybody saw that, like, that was the coolest thing ever. Like, that just felt so good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Stick tricks feel good when you catch them. I mean, I know you when you're playing on your videos and stuff. You're throwing your sticks around and whatnot. Yeah. And then after a while, it helps you keep time. At least
exactly.
I don't really think that you're just aimlessly chucking sticks around.
No, yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it helps. I mean, because you end up putting them in the exact same spot every time. Yeah. And it just helps. Yeah, you find that too, that there's like a groove you sort of fall into where, I've definitely found that. I even did a video at one point where I talked about how like it really helped me. At first it was literally just because I wanted a gimmick to try and get more views on YouTube. And then like the more I sunk into it and like the more I just tried to incorporate it, it got really natural and then I didn't have to think about it. And then once I got to that point, then it was like, wow, like this, I actually noticed that like the more I practice, the more I practice this, it actually helps with my stick control, my like awareness, and it keeps me in time. I don't know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think it's good. And also, I feel like it keeps blood flowing to the hands a little more because I feel like if you're all, like, when I get stuck holding my sticks the whole set, I almost get cramped up and like weak a little bit. But if I can throw and at least move my fingers around a little bit, like even mid-song, if you're throwing it, you're opening to catch it or whatever. Yeah. But even if I can throw them around, it helps so much. I just feel like, oh, that was the rest I needed, Yeah, that's actually a really good point because the same thing happened to me. I found that when I started to learn how to like ghost note, like ghost a note, when I started to learn how to do that and like really have like, the sense of dynamic to be able to accent, rim shot, and then put the ghost note nice and quiet in between those. The biggest thing for me was just loosening that grip. Yeah. Just relaxing and being able to loose and then get back into like a whip, right? And the ghost note or tossing your sticks like that totally helped me because it was at the same time that I started the stick tricks as I did started like trying to work more with dynamics. So like being able to loosen up your grip, that actually comes with it too. I don't know. I found a lot of benefits. Sounds like you did too. Most definitely. Yeah. That helps a lot. And just like the dynamic thing that you were saying before, it helps a ton to be able to play dynamic in a sense, whether you're playing ghost notes with your groove or whatever. Even if you're just rolling down like your normal tom saying, something like that, it just helps give you more of a feel. So I think I like the dynamics. Let's talk about that a bit, because in a genre where everything, for the most part, a lot of it's just 127 velocity MIDI, right? It's just straightforward 16th notes as hard as you can. Like, is there a lot of space for dynamic playing, and where do you kind of find room to incorporate it? Most definitely. I think there's a ton of space. And I mean, for me, I just sort of find room sort of wherever. And a lot of these fills that I was playing 10 years ago, a lot of them are very cookie cutter. Yeah. I like to say, just like... Well, at the time, there was a new idea, but now very cookie cutter, and so now I sort of change things up to make them a little bit more modern. Yeah. I'll keep all the main fills and main parts the exact same, but when it comes down to fills in between stuff... just like quick little guys. Anyway. I'll definitely change them up and make them cooler and a little bit more dynamic. The dynamics just give the song more feeling. I mean, if you have something that's just straight up in your face 24/7, it's hard to get attached to it because there's like nobody rides like a roller coaster. Nobody rides a roller coaster that's just fucking downhill the whole time. And it's just like, woo! All right, that was awesome. Yeah. Roller coasters are fun because it's an adrenaline rush because you're going up and then you're finally like, oh, okay, we're going down. It's one of those things. You could think of the slow part, like the slow, easier parts on a roller coaster as, piano or mezzo piano or mezzo forte. That's the different dynamic terms for and like let's say you're going up and you're getting to the top of the hill okay, that's your crescendo, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, here we go, and now we're at the loudest part, and boom, now it's double forte, triple forte, whatever. It's the loudest it can go, and then you go up, then you're going back up, and you're like, okay, now here's our day crescendo, and we're going back down into piano, okay, and we're building up, you know?
Yeah.
Putting that sort of sense onto a song, you know, with dynamics, and you're like, okay, yeah, that makes a song way more exciting.
Yeah.
But,
I gotta tell you, listening to you talk about it like that, first of all, it makes a ton of sense, and second of all, it makes me super hyped for that drum solo later today. Because there better be a lot of that.
yeah. I hope so.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a kiddie ride.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked to see it.
I'm very excited. Tonight will be really, really fun.
So has there been many like tours where you've gotten the opportunity to sort of do that, to have like a, how long is it, 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's about 2 minutes or so. Like I said, not a super ton amount of time, but with the amount of songs that we're playing, 17, what's that? It's like, already burning.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun though. I mean, it definitely pushes a little bit, but it's more of a rockier solo, I think, where like the crowd can get a little bit more into it.
Cool.
Rather than just me showboating.
Yeah.
You know, me just like.
Yeah.
I think those solos are fun and all, but it's nice to have a solo where there's a little bit of taste in it as well.
Do you have like a backtrack for it, or is it just you? Just you?
No, just me. I listened to it quick, but I don't.
Okay. Oh, true.
You know, I mean, if I needed to not have it for some reason, but yeah, there's nothing on it.
Oh, there's no tempo changes. Then you're just.
No.
Yeah.
Not in there. No, not in there. It's just our sets in parts though. So after the solo goes right into a song, like after this goes into the song.
Yeah, I got you.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I guess I have to listen to it.
All right, yeah. So take me through. I guess like I know the kid's not here. We'll overlay some B-roll, but take me through level by level, like cymbals, hardware, shells. What are you rolling with right now on this tour? What have you been working with lately?
Okay, so right now, my 4 main companies are Zildjian cymbals, Vic Firth drumsticks, Evans drum heads, and Tama drums. So as far as cymbals go, I pretty much play all the main A custom line from Zildjian. My hi-hats, I'm playing 14-inch A custom master sounds. On my left, right over here, as a sort of accent offhand crash, I have a 18-inch A custom EFX crash. As my offhand crash, I have an 18-inch A custom crash. As my main cymbal, I play a 19-inch A custom crash. And then as a ride, I play a 20-inch A custom ping ride.
Oh, nice.
And then my knickknacks cymbals or whatever.
I like that. That's good.
I play a 12-inch Oriental China Trash China. I have a 7.5-inch. It's a Volcano Cup Zill bell, so it has an inverted bell on it. So instead of being like that, the bell goes sort of up.
Oh, okay.
And it's almost like an ice bell.
Okay.
It sort of looks like that.
Oh, okay.
And then I have a 21-inch A custom ultra hammered China. I count that as
super dry.
Too. No, it's actually super washy.
Oh, okay.
It's my favorite cymbal from Zildjian, just because it is the most unique sounding China that they have.
Yeah. Because
it's washy. The other ones are more in your face and sort of have more attack in them. Like I have my last cymbal on the right is a 18-inch Oriental China Trash. So that was like the cymbal that Matt Greiner from Oxford.
Yeah, of course.
He made that cymbal basically super popular back in the day because that was the cymbal, and you hear it in all the ABR songs. That cymbal is in your face. Yeah. So I still like to have it up there just in case I want to switch it over or do anything like that. But as far as my main China and my favorite knickknack is definitely that 21-inch A custom ultra hammer. That thing rocks.
That's a huge China.
Yeah, it seems really big, but since it's curved and everything like that, it really only looks as big as 19. It doesn't take up as much space as you would think.
Okay, gotcha. True.
Because at first I came on this tour and I was like, this thing is huge. This is 21 because I hadn't had one break in a while since I was off on practice. I thought it was a 19 the whole time. And then once I went and looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like way bigger than I thought. But yeah, so that's the full cymbal setup there. There should be 9 cymbals. Yeah. And then let's see, after that, Vic Firth, we already talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'm playing that Vic Firth Metal. CM is the product number, and that's wood tip. Then after that, for Evans, for my main snare, I play, I play a 13-inch snare as an offhand snare, 14-inch main, two 20x18 kicks. My rack toms are 10x8, 12x10, 14x12, and 16x14. And then for the heads on my main snare, I play the Evans Heavyweight. It's basically just the most durable snare head you get with there. Only, I guess, downside to the metal sticks is they're so big that you do rip through heads, so you got to play some durable stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
As my offhand snare, I play the hybrid, the Evans Hybrid head. They're like sort of Kevlar-ish head.
Yeah, I've played both those heads.
Yeah, it has a great crack, and that's really what I use that offhand snare for. And then for my toms, I'm playing the black chrome tom heads.
Oh, really?
So they have two. Evans has two different heads that are black. One's like a black onyx.
Yeah, I play the onyx. Yep.
Yeah, and then the black chrome ones have the, I guess, shiny finish.
Yeah. I've played those too, actually.
Yeah.
They're very dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them a little bit better than the onyxes.
Yeah, I don't like the onyx on toms. I love the onyx as a snare head, but I play a 13-inch snare as my main snare.
I've heard people like it. I think Max actually plays one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right on.
So you can talk to him about it.
Hell yeah.
And then, let's see. Oh, and then my kit. I got a brand new kit for this tour. And it's a Tama Star Classic, but it is walnut birch. So they just released their brand new walnut birch line.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It has such, like, just beef to it. Every time you hit it, like a tom, even when it's not plugged in, you can feel like the resonance in the bass of them. Yet they're still punchy and attacky, which is weird. Like, you know what I mean? How can you be like, it's super low, but you can hear it really well?
Yeah.
And so I was playing a Birch Babinga kit before this one.
But they discontinued the Babinga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they're on walnut birch and
I've taken a look at
rocks.
I've taken a look at them just on like recordings. Like Annika just built a new kit. That's that, and it just sounds great. Your kit, I noticed during sound check, is exactly how you're describing it. Like, it's very big, but it has that punch. I think a lot of it too is those heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, coupled with the wood, the birch. How was your last kit maple?
The last kit was Birch Babinga.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Birch
So
Babinga. I've had multiple other kits before. I've had maple kits, and I've had the straight birch kits and other things like that.
Before Tama, what kits were you playing? You were SJC?
No, I was Truth.
Truth.
Yep.
Okay,
I was with
Truth.
Jeff from Truth. And yeah, that guy rocks. He's still one of my best buds.
Right on.
I loved Truth to death. It was just one of those things to where I felt like I needed to be a smaller fish in a bigger pond, if you will. You know, I wanted.
Was it backline kind of thing
to grow? It wasn't really anything like that.
No.
I mean, I guess they definitely had worldwide support, which helped out.
Yeah.
But I think when we went to Japan for the first time, I fell in love with a Tama Star Classic Birch Babinga. That was one of those times where I was a backline thing, to where I had hit the Truth guys up, and I asked them. I said, "Hey, do you mind if I rent something while I'm there, because I'd like to play my full setup," because we had already missed Japan twice at that point.
Okay.
So he was like, "Dude, not a problem at all." So Tama, I don't know how, but they just loaned me a kit for free for the tour, and I fell in love with it. I was like, this is the easiest thing to tune. It sounds so good. It feels so good. Like, I don't know. And I fell in love with it ever since then. And then luckily Tama asked me if I wanted to be part of the family before we left Japan. And so, calling Jeff up at Truth was one of the hardest things to do, because it was like, man, you're my buddy. I don't want to leave you, but I know I have to.
Yeah.
But I also told him too, I said, if there's anybody out there that wants to get a sick custom kit, anything like that, and they're not looking for just, hey, that's the kit that's on the floor in the shop and it sounds really cool and I know that I've seen other people playing it, I'd be like, yeah, man, go get something custom if you want to do it, and I guarantee it's going to be a good kit. Like, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But for me and my personal taste and preferences, I mean, every drummer's different, but it just feels good.
Yeah.
It's like, that's my lazy boy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like the dad's lazy boy is a Tama kit for me.
Hell yeah. So you've got 2 kick drums.
Yep, 2 kicks. I play both. I play them both live as well.
Yeah.
No triggers, and I play with these things. This company called Kelly Shoe.
Okay.
They make these kick drum mounts for inside your drums. To where
really?
you unscrew where your lugs are. You unscrew the screw to it, and you'll put in a screw into a piece of leather, and it attaches. So there's normally a kick-in mic would be like a D6 or 901 or something like that, and it slides in and stays in the same exact spot every single day. And then my kick-out lives inside there too, and that looks like a horseshoe on the inside, and the inside of my drum sort of looks like a spider web. But
so it's like floating, right?
There. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that
forever. So
wow.
I have 2 1.5-foot leads that run out of the kick drums, and the lines just plug into those. And when we're done, they just unplug. I throw them in the kick drum, pack them up, and they're the exact same. So it's basically the closest thing you could get to a trigger that's not.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of guys that do the 2, like at least blend the trigger just for the tuning's sake, right? How do you get them to sound the same? So trick 2, you just have the ear. Just took No, 10 years of touring.
It's just like every drum has a feel. Every drum has that area where it wants to sit. It feel like you can force a drum to sound like this or sound like that, but at the end of the day, that when you're tuning a drum or something, that it wants to sit in that one area.
Yeah.
Whether it's that sound that you really don't quite like or not. You know what I mean? Like if you're having to force it out of that zone, that's not really where it should be sitting, but you do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So every drum has that one note. It's timbre note, if you will. And so on like DW drums, they actually write the timbre note inside of the shell, so you can tune it to that note if you wanted.
Yeah.
But as far as the kick drums, man, I do it all feel. I pretty much tighten them all with my fingers, and so like my batter head, I go down just pretty much finger tight, and then my resonant head, I just go down a little bit tighter than that, and that's it.
Really?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I play my preds. I play my head super loose, and then also I'm playing Tama Iron Cobras as well, the power glides.
Yeah.
But I have those just right out of the box, and that's awesome for me. Pretty like medium tension.
Yeah.
I like to feel the pedal under my foot, rather than I like to give oomph to it. I feel like a 9000, even though it's a great pedal, I have to play soft to play hard on the pedal. But if I play hard, the pedal plays soft. It's weird.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's the 9000 thing, I think. I don't know.
I've been on Tama Speed Cobras forever. I like them.
Speed Cobra.
You can't?
No.
Don't do the longboard?
No.
Sure.
No, just regular guys.
Regulars?
Just regular little boys.
So what's your go-to technique for your heel? Is it heel up?
Heel up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm heel up.
Slot of toe.
And then a little bit of swivel, but like nothing super drastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned just it's just like doing a stick flip or stick spin or something like that. If you just get that muscle out of that zone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it can breathe for a second.
Yeah.
And then you can, keep your stamina flowing. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Charging constantly.
Yeah.
Because you're just doing, you know what it is being a drummer. You find a way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's how it is. Because like a lot of guys will try out the different techniques, but really they land somewhere in between a couple.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then you the more situations you put yourself in, you start to land inside of a couple that you're sort of switching in between because, in different situations you want more power or more speed or whatever it is. And you kind of find your way around the pedal like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, okay, so it is me again, which means I have to punch in one more clip that I unfortunately lost when editing this video. And the clip that I'm punching in is real simple. I just asked Jerod here how long this tour is going to go for. And then after it's over, what are your plans? So he's gonna follow that up by explaining that he's going into the studio, and that's kind of where we're gonna pick up here. So this is his explanation of what Miss May I has planned for after they wrap the tour that they are on during this line check.
We'll begin our writing process.
Right.
So as of right now, I don't think we don't have any like studio time,
set up yet. Yeah.
But yeah,
What's the writing process look like?
So our writing process is our guitar players play a lot of like riffs down or whatever.
Yeah.
I get with them. We go over like some drum parts. I might program some stuff on a computer if we're just hanging out, shooting the shit one day and just like, oh, hey, I'm going to come over, bring my laptop. Let me show you this thing, or email it to me or something. And I'll like do some like rough drum parts, or I'll just let them program whatever, because sometimes that actually helps me. It helps me when sometimes they think from a guitarist perspective and they just add some things in there that I'm like, I never would have thought of that. That's pretty cool. And like I'll be like, I'm going to keep that. Like from you, I'm gonna take that, and then I'll like put a bunch of other stuff in. The rest of it, and be like, that part I can make that way cooler, or like do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do that, and then we normally do a pre-production process where we're in the studio for about a month with our producer, and we just work one-on-one with him. It's usually just instruments. Instrument guys are in there. Levi will be hanging out usually, but he'll be there with us this time. But he was in LA last time, so we're like, there's no point in flying you in for a month to just basically sit here.
Yeah.
We got the instruments under control. You screen.
Yeah.
Because he went to, our vocals went to Drew Folk in LA.
Yeah.
So it made more sense to do it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll go into the studio. We'll do a month of pre-production. And we'll probably bring in 19, 20 songs with us. And we'll just filter through all the songs and color code them and be like, okay, this one's okay, this one's good, this one's definitely going through, and then we'll basically take the bad songs or whatever, or not the bad songs, but the ones that we weren't the best, and we'll go through those and say, okay, which one's the best out of these, and then we'll work more on that. And sometimes you get a little gem, sometimes you don't, but yeah, and you just basically all the other songs they don't even really go to B-sides. We don't even really awaken them again after they're already out of the assembly line.
Yeah.
We're just like, nah, you're out of there. We can think of better stuff. But yeah,
it's super. It's in like in an era of, a lot of bands are just one guy, guitar player, sits at the DAW, does it, maybe sends it to a vocalist, and then the vocalist will layer, and then you're good to go. It's really refreshing to hear that you guys sort of build it from the ground up like that.
Yeah, we try. It's just normal for us to work as a team, to want to do things as a team.
Yeah.
We're also a band that we all get paid the same amount, no matter what. Like we're just like, again, we're brothers at the end of the day. So it's like, why do I think that I need to be paid more because I did more work or something, quote unquote.
Yeah.
It's like everyone has their own weight to pull in a band.
Yeah.
Whether that's one person is, for instance, like the live guy. Like I'm a live guy, so when we're on stage or at a venue, I have to get things done, and I can make that show happen. Like no matter what, I can make that show happen on that stage. When it comes down to being business guy for the band or something like that, I hate dealing with business. I hate dealing with anyone that has any business to do with the band, because we've been screwed over so many times that it's like, I don't trust anybody. So it's like, I'd rather just be friends with the people and let the other guys in the band do the business side, while I can work on the side that is the live side and our real show side, Yeah. So it's like everybody has their own place and where their little puzzle piece fits. And it's just like our machine works well like that.
That's so badass.
Yeah, we try.
That's really awesome. You don't hear that a lot. It's a lot of, one or two guys, and then you hire guns and you go out on the road. But like to hear that you guys do it like that, that's like the dream for a lot of bands, I think.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess being in a band is technically a dream.
Yeah.
But, you give up so much for it. That's a lot of people don't realize how much people give up. Like, it's difficult to hold a normal job when you're at home if you want to tour all the time, and you're like, oh, well, I got a family or bills to pay or whatever. It's like you give up a ton by being like, okay, well, hopefully somebody will help me out, and I can be like, hey, by the way, man, hopefully you don't care if I leave for a month or two, and I'm going to come back, and you're going to still give me a job, right? It's like, pay my bills? The guy's like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully you can find like a friend or something, I guess, in that sense. But luckily, everybody in the band has found something by now. I haven't. I still do. I still do stuff. Like I like to do the drums and whatnot.
Yeah.
I haven't found anything like since we live in such a small area. I can't like really session out that much or anything.
Oh, okay.
Which is a bummer because there's no demand for it. Nobody really needs it.
Yeah.
Everybody's just doing their own thing, and if they're recording with anybody, it's with like a dude for $80 in his garage or something. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's not worth time. So, but I'm gonna start getting out and heavily drum teching again for bands.
Nice.
I've been out in the past with Cannibal Corpse. I did Russia and Europe with them and drum tech Paul. And then I drum tech some other bands like when we were on tour with Amir and stuff like that, and drum tech for them. And I enjoy doing it a ton. I think it's really fun because being out on the road's fun with me. It's just nice being around the instrument. You know?
Yep.
So,
no place I'd rather be. Exactly.
So that's going to be my thing after this because now Miss May I we're not touring as much as we did in the past.
Mm-hmm.
We used to tour 10 months of the year just because we wanted to be out on the road. And if somebody said, "Hey, you want to tour?" We said, "Let's do it." But now it's just like, hey, we got stuff going on at home. Like our singer Levi's about to have a baby in October, which is badass. And so we're taking pretty much the rest of the year off after this too. So it's like, yeah, I'm definitely going to get into dabbling into like working with some other people and doing some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Be sick.
Right on.
Obviously, Miss May will always be my main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool,
Can't
man.
keep me off the road for too long.
Yeah. All right. Well, that seems like a great place to call it.
Oh yeah.
So thanks so much.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
So there you have it. I really hope you enjoyed my interview, my conversation with Jerod Boyd from Miss May I. As I said at the beginning, I really had a fantastic time filming this interview, filming this conversation with Jerod. He's a really personable guy and was really enjoyable just sitting down and talking to him, getting to know him as a drummer and sort of his past and where he came from. I hope you enjoyed. As I already mentioned, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much to Jerod. Thank you to the guys at Miss May I for letting me borrow their drummer for the better part of an hour while we filmed this. And in closing, if you enjoy content like this and would like to support the channel, you can find a Patreon link and a merch link in the description below. You can also connect with myself and Jerod further in the description below at our social media links. They will all be outlined in detail below. One last time, thanks for checking out this video, and I will see you guys all very soon with something new.